All right, cool. So now we are live on YouTube. Awesome. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining and watching once again. You guys are awesome. So we're going to go over, we're going to actually do a deep dive today and a deep dive of Auto Frame within Premiere Pro. All right. So Auto Reframe in Premiere Pro is one of those features that works just well enough to be useful and just wrong enough to be very frustrating. So if you don't know how to correct it, that's when it becomes very, very frustrating. So most people that try to do auto reframe, so most editors try it once and then they watch the AI kind of drift off the subject and they give up. So we're gonna run the full workflow on real footage, as you can see right here in my project. We're gonna fix every place it fails, and by the end, you'll have a repeatable system for turning any horizontal footage into TikTok, Reels, Shorts without re editing everything from scratch. All right. So let's look at the sequence right here that we have in front of us. This is a horizontal uh, vlog that I did on a glamping trip that we did, and glamping because it's like a dome, one of those domes that they have in the woods. Hold on, I think I have some. Yeah, it's pretty much it. All right, so we're looking at it. This is the full kind of layout that you can look at it, and then we started from. Let me actually. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of scrub through it so you can look at all the way that it's horizontal. All right, and right there. So yes, everything is horizontal. Just trip, all that, driving in, and we get there. Say something in front of the camera. I was super tired. Yes. Show some scenes real quick. Me in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, talking, spitting some facts, and then just some quick montage inside, some drone shots, us hanging out outside by the fire, us leaving, and that was it. So everything is purely horizontal, right? So what we're gonna do is we are going to auto reframe everything, right? And before it didn't have it where you could do the whole sequence. It had it that you could kind of just go and to the effects panel. I'll show you right now. You put auto reframe, and here it is. And then you can just drop it into each clip individually, whatever. Now, what we have is I'm in the Premiere Pro beta version. So we'll go to sequence, right? And sequence settings. You're going to go all the way down. All right. Wait, hold on. Let me click on the sequence. Sequence. You're going to go all the way down and it's going to say auto reframe sequence. Okay. So that's what you're going to click on. And in theory, it's supposed to auto reframe everything. And it's going to ask you a couple of settings, right? So we're going to click it. And then this is, we can name it whatever we want to name it. And then it'll ask you target aspect ratio. So you could do square, vertical 4:5, vertical 9:16. And that's the one that we're going to be working on. Or you could do custom aspect ratio, to whatever it is that you want to do. So cool. We're going to stick with the 9:16 for this purpose, right? Target resolution 2160, 3040. I mean, I'll leave it at that for right now, but the most likely use case is that it's going to be 1080 by 1920, right? But I'll just leave it for this right now. So clip nesting, don't nest clips. This will replace your current motion adjustments, okay? And nest clips, this will keep motion adjustments but remove transitions. I really don't have transitions like that, so we'll just keep it at don't nest clips, all right? So we're going to create. All right, and then now it's supposed to have worked already. All right, so now as you can see, kind of the it did it, but the adjustments are the adjustment layers, like where I have the LUTs and all the grades that I did. So let's just, for right now, I'm just going to increase this up so we can kind of have it there. This one right here, I'll do the same. Wait, is it doing it? Yeah, it's doing it. It's just taking forever. we'll do that for right now. We'll just keep it at, you know, whatever. So it covers the whole thing. Cool. Now we're going to take a look at exactly what happened and what it did. All right. So let's start it from the beginning. I'm not going to put any sound on it, but we'll do just that. So yes, again, you could reframe it to whatever you want. So the AI is going to be tracking the motion analysis, not really face detection. Okay. And then we're going to read the keyframes and see what it did, and we'll take it from there. Cool. All right, let's do it. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, see a little drift right there. It's drifting. It's trying to catch it. There we go. Did a pretty good job on that one. Okay, so I'm talking. All right, my guys talking. So I'm talking. It's really in this. So it's actually doing a really good job in the face detection. Looks really good, actually. So we're walking away. It's kind of like zooming out. There's a part that's not blocked. Oh, it's this one. All right. There we go. That's shorty right there. Boom. It did a pretty well. Let me see what it did with the because there's a shot that wait, that's her. That's me. All right, so it's doing pretty good so far. A couple of drifts, but it's okay. All right, it's going. It's keeping everything centered that I wanted to show pretty much. There we go. Okay, kind of moving in there. It's doing pretty good. There's a little bit of motion in there, but it's all right. It's working. All right. So, okay, so you see that clip right there? Okay, it kind of, so you see this right here? That drift that we saw in the beginning? So drift there. So right there, the center of the shot is not this. So again, there's somebody else there. So it did that. Let me look at what it did. And let's do it. And it does have a zoom in that I did before. So it's funny to see it there. Let's see that. Okay. So I did that. Now we're going to keep on going. It's me talking. So I did pretty good. I was pretty static in this, but it did a good job of kind of like keeping me in focus right there. So I talked for a little bit. Let's look at some B-roll. That's what I'm really focused in. Oh, let's start from there. Okay. Wow, it actually did a good job there. I drifted a little bit. Not too bad. That's good. Okay, so that interesting because that part right here is not the middle of it. Just got my wife over there at the end. And that's showing you that. Okay, cool. So I did a pretty good job there. So for the motion parts, it's actually doing pretty good. Like it's fantastic. So I just literally reframed everything that I had into a 9x16, and for the most part, it did everything on its own. So that's fantastic. Apart from a few adjustments that we have to make, it's not that bad. See, Marco Spasic, what's going on, man? Do you edit for your clients too? Yeah, that's what I mostly edit for clients. But you know, sometimes I can't really show their footage because of privacy, NDAs, and all that stuff. So I just use a lot of my stuff. But yeah, I edit a lot for clients. All right, cool. Let's see. All right, now there's, as you can see, there's a couple of different places where it fails, and we're gonna go over that. Like for example, on the B-roll shots, where is it? Right there. Let's just leave it there. There's 3 places where it really fails. So there's gonna be a subject moving toward or away from the camera, which is the one that we saw right here. So let me just show you guys where it kind of failed. Is this guy right here. So this shot is right there, but then this very shot, if we actually move this, second. I'm going to overwrite the generated one. So if you look at that, see right there. And these are the keyframes that it did, okay? So that's something that we can double check. Kind of want to show what it looks like if we move it that way. Okay, we can't. I want to overwrite it. It's not letting me overwrite it. Come on, man. Overwrite, generate pattern. See, so like the original shot is actually right here in the beginning. That same frame is this one. So if as you can see on this one, it's kind of like moving towards it. It's focused on my wife, but I guess it focuses on me, and it went strictly to my wife over there at the other side. So that's an instance where it's going to fail. A hard cut mid clip. It tries to really, the AI tries to track across the cut, which is what it did right here. I'll show you guys exactly what happened. That's me talking. Not nonsense. Good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, so wait, it was more in the beginning. I was like, right there it is. This part right here. So as you can see right here, there was a cut. It goes right into it, and then see it did that hard cut in the middle. So the center of this frame is actually not that. It's actually me in the middle. As you can see, me holding the baby right there. All right. So that's another reason why it didn't work. Marco Spasic, do you do mostly filming and editing for clients, or just editing clients' footage that they filmed? I do both. So depends on the contract. I mostly do both, but I kind of most likely outsource or have one of my guys do the filming, and then I'll do the editing my own. So there's both of those that we can do, or that I do. Are you an editor as well? All right, another one is a wide shot with small subject. The AI loses the target entirely, which is exactly what this is the one that I was showing with my wife right here. So this is a very wide shot, and it just loses. So obviously, this is on one side of the frame, and then this is the other side of the frame. So both shots have that. Let me actually show you the difference. So this is right here. So this is the wide shot, as you could see right there. See, so it's me, and we're walking towards that. So that's the first fail right there, that it didn't get it. And then the second one, hard cut in the middle. So it's me, but it went to my wife on this one. So right there, boom. See? So those are the ways that it's going to fail. See that shot right there. Those are two ways it's going to fail. Three ways, I'm sorry. So subject moving toward or away from camera, hard cut mid clip, and wide shot with a small subject. So now you saw each one. Now, let's do a manual correction on this, all right? Marco, yep, but only editing at the moment. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Fellow editor. What do you use, Premiere Pro, or are you doing something else? So I'm thinking, should I get all the camera and stuff also? Well, I mean, it depends. Do you also want to do you want to film as well, or do you just want to stick to the editing? So that's something you need to kind of really focus in. You want to make sure that you're, if you want to edit, if you want to film and edit, I think that's probably the most transition that most people do. They'll do both and then kind of choose one. But if you really enjoy editing, man, I say editing. But if you want to make some extra money, then filming is something else that you can add to your portfolio, or to your tool belt, I should say. So if that's something that you're going to be charging for, then I suggest you do that. Or if you just want to make your own content, then yeah, definitely get it, 100%. All right, so let's see where it failed. So right here, this is one of the fails. So this is the keyframes. that it did. So started from here. And it just, and then we're going to manually just go all the way to the other side because that's where I'm at. See? So I'm manually going there, and that's where I'm at. Cool. So we can start it that way. And go to the next one. And obviously, each one we're going to have to, or we could just completely erase these right here. And let's take those out, take this guy out, take that one out, and take this one out. And let's start from the beginning. And then that's the fix. You just manually went in there and so even that one kind of worked out just like that. So that's that right there. And then this one will do the same thing. You want to see where the keyframes are. All right. And what we're going to do is just add our keyframes. Go in there and choose that guy. And again, she's more in focus than I am, so the AI just probably thinks that she's the one that's doing it, which is, completely fine. I want to see my wife's face more than my face anyway. And let's see how that one went like this. Boom. Excellent. Let's look at another fix. We went in the beginning right here. There it is. So this is the other one right here. That drift right there. But let's even this one right here. So this one, we're going to go in, go down to the auto reframe. And we are going to see the keyframes. Overwrite. What I'm clicking is the overwrite here. So you guys can see overwrite generated path. That's what I'm clicking on. So that's the original one right there. And that's where it started. Cool. So we're going to do a keyframe right here where we're starting. All right. And this one, we're going to do move towards the center because that's where I'm at. And obviously, if you want to make these reels accurate to the eye and, the whole editing good stuff, kind of keep your audience engaged, then you want to keep it in the center because that's where it was originally intended to be shown when I shot it horizontally. So right there, we're going to keep that frame. And then the next one to see how it drifts. There we go. See, it just did that crazy drift. So we're just going to fix that. So these frame, so these frames, I'm going to delete them because we don't need them and we're not drifting anywhere else. And we're going right there. I wonder what it, wait, you know what? I'll do that one. And let's go back to the first frame and see it. So even that one, even that drift like that is not even that bad. So again, you're going in manually trying to do it, and that's the way to do it. So as you can see, most of it was shot, or most of the AI did in making it auto reframing it to vertical was actually pretty good. And you just have to go in there and do it manually a couple of times. That's perfectly fine. I'll live with that as opposed to doing everything completely from scratch, right? And as you can see from when we did the sequence auto frame sequence, you have a couple different templates to choose from in there. So you could do it auto, to each, or have a sequence for each and every platform if you want to go square for Instagram or anything like that. Marco, I enjoyed editing, but filming is interesting and also seems like there are more clients for it. Well, there's a lot of people that don't want to film their own footage. So 100%. And if you see that in the market, man, hey, go for it. 100%. Or you could do is film and edit. And then once you start scaling up, then you could kind of outsource each one and pick the one that you really want to choose to do. So yeah, man, go ahead. Buy it. Buy the filming stuff. That'll be fantastic. All right, awesome. So now you guys know when to override keyframes versus you want to kind of work around them. So it depends on what the footage is and what your original intention was. Um, and again, you want to batch things as much as possible. So obviously, most of the B-roll stuff, it's just going to be a little bit, that's not bad. It's going to be a little bit uh, manual or a manual way of doing things. All right, cool. That was really good. If you guys have any questions or any comments, you just let me know. Um, we went over the different aspect ratio presets, motion tracking sensitivity. They have a default here, slower motion, faster motion. Kind of depends on what it is that you originally had your intention with your horizontal footage. And let's see, when is it better to just kind of like use the auto reframe as opposed to just going ahead and shooting it vertical in situations like this? It's like I did this trip. I'm not going to go back and just shoot everything vertical. So this would be a place where I would use auto frame. And if I have to go in there manually and do it, then it is what it is. I'm cool with that. As opposed to making another trip and going back and reshooting it. It's not practical. So that's going to be the best way for me to do it. Cool. And again, if you're doing something like this where you just kind of get a one-shot deal, I'm just shooting this, then auto reframe is the best. If you're just, you have the opportunity to reshoot it and it just wasn't doing too good in the auto reframe and you have to go in there and reshoot it because it was just terrible, then that's the way that or the best way I recommend going ahead and doing that. All right. So again, auto reframe is a 70% tool. The 30% you have to fix yourself. And it's what most editors don't know is fixable, right? So I'm going to get the highlight extraction from this live and post it up on the YouTube so you guys could skip all the live stuff and conversations and go straight to it. Friday, I'm back live. We're going to go over a Premiere project setup, the right way to start every edit, and at least the way that I like to do it, right? So the setup that most editors skip, that costs them hours per project, and we're going to go over that as well. So I appreciate all you guys watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, let me know. Drop a follow because more content's coming up, especially with all these updates that Premiere has done. I'm going to go over all that, especially the color correction stuff. I can't wait to do that one. Finally got some good color grading stuff going on, so I'm hype about that. Yeah, so we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. So awesome. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you. I'm going to say bye on TikTok. You guys are fantastic. See you. And then TikTok. I'm sorry, not TikTok. YouTube. You guys are awesome. Again, I'm going to drive the shortcut, not the shortcut, the short highlight video of this. I'll drop it this weekend so you guys can take a look at it and then let me know what you guys